So that phase gave you something, and then you again came back to careers.
Yes.
When how did you start back your
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, when I was ready to go back, I found a job because, I looked for a job and I found one at Ericsson. And then I went to Ericsson, and I was admin for a group of lawyers, at Ericsson, and it was really fun because it was contract work, so understanding and doing it, and that's when I got into the quality assurance also work. And then I left when I had my second daughter, Nia, and I think that time they were also. I don't know if I'm getting mixed up, but yes, I mean, I left.
So this was era when Ericsson was making these nice music pods for devices, or it was only military applications.
It was more networking.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And because
at least the area that I was.
you were, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Because I think it was 90s is where Ericsson.
Yes. Yeah. No, this was then 90s because then in 2000. Our second daughter was born.
Okay. So you finished that stint and
yes, and then I left, and then when I was ready to come back, then I joined the Swedish Migration Board. Okay. So in between there, I went back when after I was ready to go back from our second daughter, I went back to Ericsson, but I got laid off, and that was the whole IT crash, the first IT crash in around 2000, that time. So I realized that, okay, many people have lost their jobs because it was a room full of people that had lost their jobs. And, Ericsson was trying to help them with either support or how to, go around finding or what education you could get or things like that.
And this is backed by Swedish labor law.
Yes.
So I think those are one of the strongest in the world.
Is it?
I feel so, at least. I think Germany is one of them. I mean, the support system, even if you only know, there's a strong system and laws already in place.
Yes. So it was that time when I realized that, okay, I probably need to go study some Swedish, because when I came to Sweden, I did the usual SFI course. But again, you feel like a tourist, and you've got people from different countries in that classroom with you. So as soon as they say break, you go into your little breakout sessions and you speak your own language or you speak English with people you know.
So for the listeners, because there will be listeners beyond Sweden, SFI is the Institute for Learning
Swedish.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So if we do a little bit of reflection, so you started with modeling.
Yeah.
And you learned something about it. You learned to take a call that to understand this is not for me.
Mm-hmm.
But you learned something.
Yes. And I think that what was more important there was that, because as a kid or
8-year-old.
Yes.
Yeah.
You still have to understand that the money was so good, because maybe in today's world that money would be nothing, but living with your parents, because we did that still, that was a lot of money coming in. But being smart enough to know the money is not worth it because I don't want to do this.
That was like your heart calling you,
yes.
And you're following your heart.
Yes.
And that's when you ended up Dubai and your future husband.
Yes.
Okay. And then that, I know, oh, sorry, I forgot your stint with the airlines as a hostess. And that also gave you some insights of the careers.
Yes. Because all the glamour and everything was maybe not so glamorous. I mean, I appreciate what you say, because yes, you have to do the fire training, you have to do in case of emergency. If you're going to land, how do you get everybody? You have to do that, the CPR training and everything as a flight attendant. So yes, of course, that part is definitely very strong, because you feel responsible for all these people on the flight.
Okay. And then the chain of events of coming to Dubai.
Yeah.
And meeting the love of your life.
Yes.
And then that love made you to come to Sweden.
Yes.
Because he was missing something.
Yes.
And then you try to accustom with the Swedish life, with the language, and then started some jobs. And it was a beautiful journey that you had. Now, how come you ended up, you work for some time with Ericsson on the lawyer's side.
Yeah.
Then you were also in the legal side more after that, after a few years. How come that happened?
The contract side.
Yeah, I mean, after Ericsson, you met, which other...
So I went to the Swedish Migration Board.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Swedish Migration, yes. Yes, so I studied because I went back and I studied since I realized that if you want a job, there are so many people that are looking for jobs. What is your edge? If you cannot keep up, so I thought, need to go fix the Swedish part. So I went and I did intensive course at Folk University. Just studied it, and passed the test. But I think I applied for the Swedish Migration Board because I wanted, now I'd been in craft, which is, English is a corporate language. I'd been in Ericsson. I wanted to be forced in a Swedish environment and see what it feels like.
And the Migration Board is?
Swedish.
No, I mean...
The Swedish Migration Board is a government where everybody's seeking asylum. Visas, everything. It's the Swedish Migration Board.
Okay, they are the I mean, this is for the listeners. I'm living in Sweden.
Yeah, that's the authority.
So you are one of the case officers?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
My application?
Yes, yes. And that's what, so every time you took a lunch break or something, there were people putting their dossier numbers in your hand, their file numbers, to like, please, can you just tell me what's happening?
This was physical those days, all the applications.
Yes.
Okay.
And then also people seeking asylum. So that's what I did for 3 years. And then because, then you actually start to think, I remember driving home and thinking, jag måste köpa mjölk. And I thought, stop it, because I still want to be in control, and I was not ready for the Swedish to be into my way of thinking. I still want to be my own person. But then after 3 years, I decided, now I got enough of Swedish, so let's go to the next. But I think it was also interesting. I got a letter from the Swedish migration authorities. It's a very formal body. So I got a letter home saying that there were 600 and something people applied, and we only need 15 people. The interview was 3 hours long. Yeah. All in Swedish, and I think at the end of that process, I was pretty exhausted in my mind because I was taking every English statement, and translating it.
I just remember one of the famous television actresses from US. She's Spanish. I'm just not able to recollect the lady's. She has a meme about the exact thing. I'm smart in Spanish. It's just that I take time to translate. So don't believe that I'm dumb. Gauri or so. I don't remember now. Dori, I think that's the name.
Okay.